been 0-0 with Reading. Live on BBC Red Button. I'm actually watching it on the FA Player. Matt, what are your initial thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, I suppose it was everything we kind of anticipated, wasn't it? It was physical. It was a little bit bitty at times. It's been, just one of them typical games against Reading, really, where we've really had to fight for it. I mean, listen, we've had chances. We hit the post. They've had chances. It's been midfield battle. So, kind of everything expected, really. But I'll tell you what, it's a brave decision that going on the FA Player from you.
The commentator, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure they don't even watch the games. I'm sure there was just a few notes in front of them. But we don't need to get into that. But the quality of the picture is good, but obviously the commentating probably not so much. It's still a fantastic to have, though, isn't it? The FA Player. If anyone is abroad or who can't watch the games or whatever, it is still worth having, definitely. Onto the actual game then. So let's just go through a few players then. So Mary Earps has been tested quite a little bit. Even that corner just towards the very end, where she managed to get a punch away, that could have quite easily got into a goal because there was awkward conditions. She was surrounded by players around her. The weather's not great up there as well, so she could have quite easily punched that into her own goal, but she managed to get it away. The shot that Reading kind of had in the first 15 minutes as well, that kind of went across the goal mouth, really turned and managed to clear that. She's not had it easy, has she? But still keeping that clean sheet.
Yeah, I think, and I noticed, obviously on the BBC commentary, because that's the way I watched it, sort of Jane Ludlow was talking about that. She was saying Reading will look to put pressure on Earps. As you said, conditions not great up here. It's very, very windy. I'm sure it probably is in most of the country, to be fair, or people have got snow. But very, very windy. Not easy with aerial balls. And I think, you've sort of seen that, haven't you? Like you said, first 15 minutes, there's one that flashed across goal. There's a couple of corners they've put in and, they're trying to get the sort of wind advantage. But listen, Mary's dealt with it well. I think there's not been too much, like I said, that's really hugely tested her. I think, a couple of, like I say, challenges there. But overall, I think pretty solid for the first half.
Yeah, solid. And speaking about the defensive side of things, let's go to the fullbacks then. So I think Maria's definitely started off well. She put two crosses into the box in them first 15 minutes, battling the Reading player off the ball in that first couple of minutes. She was basically just saying, get out of the way, this is mine. It's a nice cross in, and I think she put another cross in about 10 minutes later as well. Nice to see her getting forward. Bold statement putting her as a fullback and not a centre-back as well. But I think she's holding her own there. What are your thoughts on Maria?
Yeah, I mean, we had a little discussion, didn't we, briefly about her physicality, sort of pre-match, and we did say, she will put herself about. But I think, overall solid. Like you say, she has got forward sort of when she can. But I think what I've liked about is that most of the time she's held, and I think it's allowed Ona to go forward. And I think Ona's, I think if I'm picking three players in the first half, I'd say Ona's in my three for, having a very good game. I think she's up there with Kristen Press and Hayley Ladd in this first half. But listen, Maria, you sort of see what you get from her, very strong, like we've talked about. She holds a position well and just a no-nonsense defender. Complements the three very well. Like I say, Ona's got forward, had a couple of shots as well, which is, good to see. But overall, I think we started the first sort of 15 minutes at the back, a little bit shaky for me, sort of 6s and 7s. And I think sort of as we grew into the game and the half's worn on, I think we've become a little bit more, composed and a little bit more relaxed. But like I said, first 10, 15 minutes, it was a little bit like, here we're going. I think now we've sort of got the measure of Dan Carter and you see players doubling up. Hayley's got stuck in, Katie has as well. I think it's looking better. And I think towards the first half, like I say, they really grew into the game a lot more from a defensive point of view.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, is it? Just because Reading are below us in the league, we know what Reading bring to us, and it has been a very, very tough first half. It has been a right battle. Brings me on to Ona. But I agree with you. If the space in front of her, then she'll get forward. And we saw that from the very first game that she played in, and she's been doing that today. You mentioned Hayley Ladd breaking up play brilliantly. It does look like that she's doing a job by herself in there, because to me, I think with Katie and Tooney, Katie plays more like long balls forward, and usually they come off, but sometimes they don't. Tooney, obviously, she looks like the fourth forward at times. So I've been impressed with the midfield regarding when we were on the counter attack. and the way Hayley's been breaking up the play, but they haven't had it the wrong way, have they?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think for me, if I'm looking at half-time now, I'd be looking to make a change. I think I'd bring Jackie in and swap her for Katie. I just think, like you say, I think Hayley does a great job of breaking it up, but I think, it's the sort of transition in between, and I don't want to go too technical here, but obviously I think for me, just there's something a little bit different from Jackie. She will press with Tooney, and I think it just takes a little bit more pressure off Hayley. I think sometimes, like you said, Hayley maybe is there on her own and a little bit sort of isolated, so to speak. But yeah, I think, bring Jackie on at half-time for me, and it might just change it up a little bit. I think, we have looked to, from midfield, release press quickly. And that's not a bad thing, but sometimes I think we've overhit the ball. We've looked for that ball over the top, and for me, it doesn't necessarily, as we saw at Everton last week, always need to go over the top. Can ping it through the middle and sort of, try and split the centre half, so centre half and fullback. And I think maybe, if we looked, like I say, bring Jackie on, mix up our set play as well. I think some of the set plays, corners, free kicks, probably haven't been our best. But yeah, listen, it's only 45 minutes to go, isn't there? There's just me talking options, really, my personal opinion. That'd be my halftime change. So I don't know, any changes for you at all, or would you give it sort of 15, 20 minutes in the second half?
Yeah, I might give it 15 minutes at the start, because I have been quite impressed with the way that we've been attacking, just probably not. I think we've been a lot better out wide, so I think Hansen and Galton, that's quite clear. I think sometimes Kristen Press just gets swallowed up a little bit. She's got like two centre-backs around her, so it's great when Tooney's getting forward, because then she can break those centre-backs up. But when she's the one that's actually got the ball, then it's a lot more awkward for her to find Kristen. So I don't necessarily mind the front three, but yeah, probably something in the midfield if we're not having it all our own way in the next 15 minutes or so. But let's talk about Tooney, obviously, player of the month nomination. We'll speak about that in our match reaction show a little bit later. But I think Tooney's having a good game, hitting the post as well in that first half. What do you think about that opportunity?
She'll kill me if she sees this, but no, I thought she didn't quite get the contact, did she? I thought she kind of, I don't know, shanked it, so to speak. Slightly critical there, but I'm sure she won't mind. But no, listen, I think, typical Tooney. She's been everywhere. She's been involved in some little link-up plays and patterns of play. And yeah, unfortunate with that chance. Like I say, I think for me, she kind of mishits it. I think she gets herself a little bit too much over the ball, and she sort of has to, her legs slightly too far back in order to, get a proper clean hit on it. But it is one of them, she's kind of done it before with a little bit of a cleaner hit, and it's hit the post and gone in, and that would have been, third time. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, she's looking for the runs of Kristen. She's linking up well with sort of Hansen and Leah. And I must say, I know we talked about press sort of pre-match and previous shows, but she's been everywhere. She's been really good for me. Led the line well, and couple of chances. I think that one we mentioned, 5, 10, 15 minutes in, I think if she hadn't slipped where she hit it and the keeper saved it, I think that probably hits the back of the net for me. But yeah, overall, like I say, final third and sort of from attacking point of view is pretty good. It's just now about sort of creating that clear-cut chance and sort of working different openings and mixing it up a little bit for me.
I think Hansen as well on that right-hand side. Don't forget what the defensive duty she's been doing as well, because of tracking back the amount and her actual pressing as well. She's causing the Reading players to make mistakes constantly, like either kicking the ball out or kicking the ball to our players. And even if she didn't actually put the tackle in, it's her running towards the players very quickly to force the Reading players into making mistakes or making the incorrect decisions. I'd like to see Kirsty get, I don't want to see her getting subbed off. I think there's more to come from Kirsty and Galton at the moment. So definitely want to be seeing a bit more of that. But we do need to kind of dominate midfield a little bit more, I think, just to kind of get more chances. To me, I think that midfield's pretty much 50-50 at the moment. It could go either way. So even though we look dangerous when we're driving forward with the ball, especially Tooney, and even though I'm really impressed with Galton and Hansen finding space, it's not happening enough times for me. So yeah, I think the next 15 minutes is going to be key in whether or not Casey's going to be making changes.
I think so, yeah. And I think also, I think for me, I'd say out the two wide players, Hansen's been better. And, I think we need to get Leah maybe on the ball a little bit more. I mean, you saw it with Kirsty, like you said, with the pressing. When she swapped wings, she pressed their full back and then drew the foul. And that should have been a booking, but that's something for another day. But yeah, I think, if we can get Leah involved more, get her on the ball, we know how good she is in direct. then yeah. But like I say, you know, first half, like I say, give it 15 minutes, see what we get. And then, yeah, but I think, like I said before, for me, I'd been tempted to make the change in the middle at half time, but we'll see what we get.
I think also something that's worth mentioning is Galton and Press's 1-2s that they've been doing. I think I don't know if they've been like 1-2s as such, but the passing between them, I think, has been quite good. And I think one of them managed to get away, and that's where Galton was in the box. And is it Cooper, the player that plays for Reading? Down injured, yeah. So I think that was some good chemistry there, and maybe this is going to be our front three going forward now until injuries return. You know, which wouldn't bother me one bit. Press, Galton, and Hansen. I mean, you'd have took that 6 months ago, wouldn't you? So you know, that's not a bad front three there. So maybe them three can play together a little bit more often, and Zelen and Jackie can kind of fight it out between them in the third midfield spot, because you're not going to drop Ladd or Tooney, are you, at the moment? So. No. Yeah, interesting to see. Them coming back onto the pitch, just warming up. Can you see us getting that goal, Matt?
Do you know what? I think we'll get I think we'll start the second half brightly now. I think we'll get one in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half. I really do. I think the way we ended that first half, sort of the final 10 minutes, was, you know, better than sort of the first 20-30 minutes. I think, you know, we really grew into it a lot better and we're creating a lot more chances. We just need to, like I say, you know, work that opening, find that killer pass, or test the keeper a little bit more. But yeah, I think this first 5-10 minutes now, I think halftime messages ringing in the rage. You know, I'm sure they'll be saying, you know, get at them and get at them early, like we did for the, you know, previous home game. Birmingham came out there minute 30 seconds into the second half, and we're at it and scored. And I think it just relieves the pressure a little bit as well. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. The Reading players are in a huddle now, so I think they're all pretty much getting ready for the match reaction show, guys. Me, Matt, Ben, Nat, as always, but I'm also joined by Anthony today, making his debut on the channel. So please tune in for that one, 7 p.m. I think I've already tweeted the link out, but it's on the All for United YouTube channel. I'm sure if you're watching this on Twitter, you'll know All for United anyway. So please check us out, 7 p.m. Looking forward to that one. Matt, hopefully we'll have some good news to talk about on that match reaction show. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay, and we'll catch everybody later. It will also be retweeted on our personal accounts as well. So for anyone struggling to find the link, I'll retweet it. My Twitter name is on screen, and the same obviously for you, John, as well. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, guys, enjoy the second half, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.